morning, good afternoon, good evening, legendary podlers. This is Jack, your lorebender for Season 2 of Even Footing Games Presents. We are still in the realm of Avatar, but things have slightly changed. That thing being the system. We have swapped out Avatar Legends and have now brought our characters into the realm of Cortex Prime, mixed in with a little bit of Tales of Xadia.
I wonder if they're Prime Podlers now.
Ooh.
Nah, still Legendary Podlers.
Okay.
Because Legendary, I think, is still better than Prime.
I mean, we're in a...
Who do you think you are? Diddy changing your name
every year? We're in a swamp. It's not the Amazon. Let's not call him Prime.
Well, wait till I get to the Prince phase, and I've just changed it to a symbol.
Yeah.
Unpronounceable.
Incomprehensible completely.
Okay. So
I don't know if everyone gets that reference, but anyway.
It's because we're old.
We get it.
I got it. I'm not that old. I got you guys.
So
I only got it, even though I'm young, because I'm worldly.
Very worldly, yes.
Lisa is 3 months younger than I am.
4?
Oh,
actually, no, 3. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Ew.
Rude.
So part of the reason we switched is because we wanted to try something a little different. We obviously want to try out a lot of different mechanics, a lot of different systems, tell you guys about them, and have you hear them, and us trying to pick through them. When part of the whole thing with Cortex Prime is it just seemed like something fun to do, considering we ourselves are working on our own plug-and-play system, and it's a strong suit for it. And so we thought, hey, why not? Also, I think the Avatar Legends, it's like, if you listen to our table talks, which I hope you have, I recommend them.
They're very good.
Please do. They're fun. We crack jokes. We insult systems. We praise each other and also praise systems.
Yeah.
Now, part of the whole thing is that some of us were like, okay, on Avatar Legends, some of us were not. We all had our gripes about certain things. And we're like, you know what, let's give a different spin. And we also thought you guys might enjoy hearing something different with the same characters and seeing how that translates, just in case you yourselves are in a situation where you're like, okay, we're a few sessions into this game. It's kind of not feeling right system-wise. Maybe we want to swap out. So this is Even Footing Games presents Cortex Prime Avatar Roku Era. To give the listeners a brief primer, the thing with Cortex is there are different mods that you can slap onto your character sheet. So if you're, for example, playing like a very social game, not a lot of combat, you can actually have values that all represent like the values of social society. And you can have distinctions that really talk about your place in that society and your own personal things, and also have quantifiable dice to represent your relationships and your affiliations. Or if you want to go crazy and do like massive Dragon Ball Z style combat, yeah, there are rules for that too. And so what we did is we picked a couple mods. This is very similar to Tales of Xadia, which is also a Cortex Prime game based on Dragon Prince, which is also partially run by some of the people who did Avatar: The Last Airbender. Hey, full circle.
It's all coming around.
So what the characters did was they got distinctions, which describe a bit about who their character is, their values, which then they broke down. We have 6 values. You'll get to hear what they are as we play. And they got to say how they feel about each and every single one of them and put a die value to it. We kept the attributes from Avatar Legends: creativity, focus, harmony, passion. Cool. Mm-hmm. Specialties, what they're good at. They got to put a die value to it. Any assets they have, such as like objects or anything like that can help them, we put a die value to it. And then we did what I called the hard mode. They got to put dice values to how they feel about each one of their individual party members.
That was hard.
That got spicy. Easy. We're also going to be doing a table talk, if you haven't already heard it, because I think it comes out before this. More about why we're switching and some of the more in-depth stuff, but this is just the bare bones. Before we get started, just one more thing. This is a dice pool system. So no more of this 2d6 and that's it. 2d6 out of number. We're building dice pools. There's tons of numbers that are actually going to help guide the narrative.
It adds a little bit of strategy to what you're doing.
So it's not simple
too.
Yes. because guess what? I get to roll now.
Ooh.
Oh,
Get your dice out. Your digital dice.
I get to roll. Yep, we are doing a digital dice roller this time around because we need to be able to see the dice values because the sides of the dice are just as important as what's on them. So I think we're pretty good to go. How about the rest of you guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's do the introductions. Let's get those out of the way. Aaryn, hi.
hey, I'm Aaryn. I play Wei. So Wei is Earth Nation person from the Wangshitong Library and doesn't do any bending. My vocation is I am a creative student.
Ooh, cool. Garrett,
Oh, hey there.
hi.
I'm Garrett.
Hello.
I play She. He's a Water Nation / Earth Nation. He was a foundling, but that was necessary in the old system to explain that he was dual heritage. But in this system, he is still rural dual heritage kid, but he's an adaptable farmer is his vocation.
Cool. Hi, Lee.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm Lee Baldwin. I play Mayu Oda, and Mayu is Mayu in this one. I don't remember what I was now. I just threw all that knowledge in the garbage now, apparently, because now I'm looking at a new sheet. But in
To make space.
yeah. But in this version of Mayu, we are looking at a guarded socialite as his vocation.
Cool. And last but not least, Lisa.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I play Tinwa, and I am an ambitious wanderer. So
Very
yeah.
cool. Yep.
Yeah.
So
I like it.
as you guys, as Legendary Podlers heard, those are one of the 3 distinctions, the little descriptions that are made to describe your characters. Each one of these has a special effect attached, which maybe we'll get to hear today. So let's dive back into that jungle, into the Foggy
I'm
Bottom
ready.
Swamp. So where we last left off was the session pretty much began with you guys had your battle with Commander Akira and you're recovering. It was the next day after a very nice party. And you guys took some time to get a little bit more of a what each other feel about the situation. You got to do also was meet a new person, or rather kind of new person. Ren, the Fire Nation soldier who now has a bit of a problem because he doesn't like what he was ordered to do. And he wants to help because he feels that whatever you guys are doing, it's the right thing. So you got that. Not only did that happen, tell us real quick about what happened with you.
Well, She went with his grandmama and learned how to do a lot of the water bending on how to get up and down and through the rivers of the swamp. And he learned how to become one with the water.
We already said that you guys got on the boat with Ren and your other new friend, the Shershu.
What's your shirt
It's been a week.
Well, here's a tip to remember. He's named after Andrew Koji. He's
That
the
is right.
lead in Warrior, and he is a very awesome person that you should follow for no reason.
Like physically? Like I should go hunt him down? And follow?
If you do that, I will go with you.
All right. I'll work on
You
it.
know,
Okay.
Our next adventure.
Our journey starts. It's a 2-day trip out of the jungle. During this 2-day trip, we're initiating what's called a challenge. And Cortex Prime, specifically Tales of Zadia, is the one that introduced the concept of challenges. There are tests, which are just solo, sort of like, hey, look, I'm just trying to do a thing. There are contests where you're going back and forth between someone of note, maybe whether it be another PC character or another NPC. Either way, it's a back and forth. Could be an argument, could be a fight, or a challenge, which is a group activity that lasts for a long period of time where you are each going to tell me how you're going to help overcome this problem. And as we go, you guys are going to be knocking dice down out of the challenge using your effect die, which will demonstrate and explain as it happens. So, because of the narrative of that, she is now trained and also very good at reading the waterways. This has bumped this challenge from what would be considered challenging, me rolling a bunch of D8s for your difficulties. He bumped it down to an easy. So it's a bunch of D6s. I start off as a GM with a base of 2D6. I take a look at the issue, and I'm like, okay, this is going to be, based on the period of time, a long journey. It's going to be 2 days. What that means is I add a D6 from short to medium to long. So that means I'm rolling now with 5d6. So my question is, who would like to go first?
We would like to be perceptive and watch out for dangers.
Fun. So what I will say is that, so definitely if you succeed, I think it definitely sounds like, obviously, you're going to spot something or maybe just spot your way out of danger. If you fail, considering we still do narrative here, it's not just boom, you failed. Let's say something fun of maybe you might have overlooked something that maybe might get you later. So what I do is I set the difficulty first. I roll 6, 6, 6. Oh, watch out, Satan. 6, 6. Okay. I have rolled a 2, a 3, a 6, a 4, and a 6. Now, I get to pick 2 of these as my total. Normally, you'd think I would just pick the 2 6s, right? Right? I mean, but I'm not. Because I'm the GM. Part of the GM with Cortex is you want to tell a good narrative. If I felt that this was particularly challenging a task, then I'd pick the 2 6s. But since I don't think this is a particularly dangerous task, I instead am going to pick the 6 and a 2. I'm going to make that total an 8.
Okay.
So, Wei, your objective is to beat an 8 total. What you need to do is pick your dice.
Okay.
Oh, and also you all start with 1 plot point. Don't forget that.
Yes.
Plot point being a currency that you guys spend to change the narrative and your roles.
So, but I need to pick a couple of things
Correct.
to roll with, right?
You need to start with the distinction, and then you pick whatever applies after that.
Okay. I'm going to roll with creative student.
Okay, it's a D8.
And my strategist.
Okay, D8, D6.
That's it.
Well, I mean, you are trying to do this, for example, for your friends. You're trying to be careful and watch out for them. Devotion can easily apply. Also, considering this is something you're very good at, mastery could also apply from your values.
Okay, well then I will go with mastery. So I will roll.
Well, also, if you want, you can add in your attribute, focus. Focus works. You're focusing.
Okay, let's see how that did not go.
Wow. Okay.
Oh,
you got.
I get it.
Yeah, man.
Easily,
okay.
Yeah.
With the D6, you rolled a 6, and with the D8, you got an 8, 2, and a 6. So the question is, what's your total? Which 2 do you select for your total?
I'm going to.
You want a fun hint?
Well, this is what I want to use the D6 and bank a plot point, or use bank one of my D8s, right?
No. You can't. That's before you roll. Where you do a hinder. That's before you roll.
Oh, okay. Yes,
What's
please hit me because I'm confused.
Okay. What you would like to. Okay. One thing I would really recommend is, again, you're trying to beat my total, not match. Beat. So I got an 8.
So I use my 2 6s.
But what's wrong with using the 8 and the 6?
Or even the 8 and a 2.
Oh, I could.
You could use the 8 and the 6. But here's the thing also. There's something in this game called heroic success. If you get 5 over my total, you get to step up your effect die.
Okay, so if I use my 8 and my 6...
That is definitely 5 over.
Okay.
In which case, what would you use for your effect die? You have the 8 and the 6.
I guess I'll use my 8.
Okay. And with your heroic success, you step it up to a 10. Now, that effect die will describe how well of a job you do. Also, because we're doing a challenge, you're also weighing your effect die against my D6.
Okay.
If it's past the D6, you wipe one of the D6s out. I cannot roll with that D6 anymore. If you match the D6 or get under, it knocks it down to a D4. You definitely got over a D6. In which case, you definitely have knocked out one of the D6s. So, narratively, obviously, Wei has gone ahead and seems to have scouted around. Wei, in what way do you think this would look?
Spot some things and kind of helps tells she which way he can move us to avoid it.
Sure, sounds good. Okay, there we go. One roll done, and already 1/6 gone. Now you get to nominate who goes next.
I'll nominate she.
And bear in mind, Ren is also a choice.
Okay.
Yeah, she is kind of back behind, or got his legs in the water underneath this boat, floating it along as he moves. So he's going to be trying to feel everything and use his water bending to try to move everything along as they get out of the swamp.
Okay, so a success may look something like, obviously, you've navigated your way successfully. A miss might be something like maybe you took a wrong path. Maybe you might have delayed the journey a bit. Then I am going to go ahead and roll my now 4d6 because one of my 6s got knocked out. Oh, 2, 5, 1, and 3. Now, I rolled a 1. That means you guys got an opportunity. If I roll a 1, I can't use it, but you can buy it from me. What that means is you can spend the plot point to recover any stress that you have. You do not have stress, though, but it's good to point this out.
Yes, for later.
And we'll talk about what happens when you guys roll a 1 when that happens.
Could be trying to buy this back right now.
So you go ahead now and tell me what you're rolling with.
All right, I'm going to roll.
Again, start with distinctions.
Yeah, I was going to do distinctions. Could I do a hindrance? So I'll downgrade something to a D8 from a D8 to a D4.
So what hindrance means is that you get an extra plot point for taking that narrative hit. You are now dropping down one of your distinctions from a D8 to a D4 for this roll. Only this roll.
So I'll go with "There's Always a Way" as my quirk from my distinctions, and that's the one I'll take as a D4. Can I do creativity to? I was going to say creativity or harmony, but creativity makes more sense because I'm adapting everything.
You are. You're learning this new technique and you're going with the waves.
And I'm trying to do right by everyone around me and my team. So could I roll with honor?
Yeah, I would say honor can work. You are specifically working within a virtue. So,
and then I do water bending.
Water bending.
So that gets me 4 dice. And I don't think I need to use a asset on this.
No, you're in the water. It's not like, water skin will help you.
And I'll roll that.
Okay. Oh, the goals. I think everyone for a goal should be get out of the jungle. I think feels like an adequate goal.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
We forgot to set our goals at the beginning of this.
I would think considering this is a longish goal, because it's going to take several days, I would put it at a D8 personally. Okay. What it means is that if you complete the goal, you guys get to mark it under your growth, which is then used for experience points. I'll explain more at the end of the session.
All right.
Now let's see. You rolled on the D4, you got a 4. Nice. On the D8, you got a 2 and a 7. And on the D10, you got a 2. So what do you like to use?
I will do the 4 off the D4 and the 7 off the D8.
Uh-huh.
And then I'll use the D10 as my complexity dice.
Also effect dice. Yeah. Okay, so that would be an 11 total. I had a total of 8, so that's not 5 over, but you did get over it. And because of your 10 effect, how did she masterfully...
He gets in and steers them around some sunken logs, but he just kind of hummed and sang and bubbled his way through and around as their skiff just kind of steered through and around all things, and he took them up a little path they weren't sure about, but then it led back to a nice broader part of the river.
That sounds amazing.
I get a D10 for effect, so...
Yeah, 10 beans, you did really well, because bear in mind, Legendary Podlers, this system does not have a D20. It goes to D12. So D10 means really good. Mm-hmm. So who would you like to go next? Again,
let Mayu go next.
Okay.
Mayu, how are you helping this journey?
I have to choose one of my distinctions, right?
Well, first we talk about the narrative. How is Mayu helping?
Well, I would like to keep an eye out for anyone that might be following us, as Ren mentioned that he might not be the only group. And so my idea was to like keep my eyes to the sky, looking for hawks, and maybe watch Ren and see if he gives me any clues as to what he could be looking out for, or what he was looking out for. Maybe talk to him a little bit over the 2 days.
Sure. That sounds great. Because you're adding Ren into the equation, you will be able to use your relationship die with Ren.
Great. It's a real strong one. So I have that. So I have a D4. And then I had to choose a distinction. I'm actually going to say I'm using Wallflower Perk because I'm kind of staying back and looking around and listening.
We can go with that.
Okay.
Talking to Ren when necessary.
They're both D8, so yeah.
We'll take it. Success and failure will look like we'll say maybe you might have spotted something, and if you fail, you did not spot a single thing.
Okay, so far I have a D4 and an 8. Can I say that this is mastery because I'm using insightfulness?
I can say that you are using mastery because of the narrative around Mayu. Mm-hmm. Mayu is an observer.
Okay, cool. So that gives me a D10. I mean, I'm using harmony. It's not my best one. Can I throw that one in too? I'm trying to work with another person. I'm kind of surprised you're not using focus. You think I could? All right.
Measures your character's ability to perform difficult or precise tasks.
That all works around that. Okay, so a 10 and 10, and an 8 and a 4.
8 for insightful, and 4 for talking to Ren, and actually using Ren to help with this.
Just make him feel useful.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Oh, man, Ren, you fail me. Come on.
I got a 9 for my total. I got a 3, 3, 6. I'm choosing the 6 and the 3, so I'm going with 9. But here's some fun things. You got a 1 on the D4, an 8 on the D6, and a 10 and a 7 on the D10s. You got a 1. So here's what I am going to do. I'm going to buy that 1 from you. Okay. That 1 I'm going to buy. You get no choice.
Oh, that's lame. All right, that's fine though.
But here's the thing though. You get a plot point. And I will say the complication, because this is just a little bit of a narrative complication. Through the canopy of the trees, you do see a large shadow, but you can't tell if it's like a small creature that's close or a large creature that's far away, but you do see something that does seem abnormal. You just can't tell what it is. Because I already know that there's no way you're not going to beat my total, because again, you got a 6, a 10, and a 7. So which one are you choosing for your total? Because you have a fun little quandary here. You can do the 10 and a 6 with a 10 as the effect, or you can do the 10 and a 7 and an 8 as the effect. And honestly, you are getting a heroic success also either way. So if, for example, if you do the D10, you bumped it up to a D12.
Yeah, I would like to do that then. Okay.
So you're going with a total of 16 and then using your D10 as the effect die and bumping it up to the heroic success. So that's why, you definitely spotted this thing, like 100%.
There it is.
And you definitely get the idea that it's not just a flock of birds or something. Like you definitely see that there was something up there, but you also know that, you're still like halfway through your trip and there's hardly a chance that they can see you as far as you know.
So am I able to like ask Ren if he knows about it or what it could be, or does that come afterwards?
Does that mean you're asking Ren to go next?
Yes. I'm going to try not to point it out to the rest of the group because I don't want anyone to freak out, but I'm going to be like, do you recognize anything that could be?
Okay. Ren is going to try to suss out what it could be. Bear in mind, this isn't 100% towards this challenge narrative of getting out of the jungle, but I feel it does still work in because, you spotting it was a result of this challenge. So Ren is going to try to spot it as well, and he's going to look up at it. And I'm going to set his difficulty, which you knocked out another D6 because you beat my effect die. So now I'm only rolling with 2D6, and my effect die will now always be a 4. A 1 and a 4. Ren cannot buy my own opportunities.
Is he like, so is the Catalyst like an NPC character, or did you just like make a PC that you're playing?
Good question. Okay. A Catalyst is an NPC that matters to you guys, meaning that They are part of the narrative. They can actually have effect on the story, and your interaction with them can actually change their values. So you can actually mold Ren the more you interact with him.
Like a child.
So you can help Ren through his own journey.
Okay.
He doesn't have as many traits as you, like he has a single catalyst die. But other than that, he has distinctions, values, specialties, assets, and relationships, just like you guys. So what he is going to roll with, because I rolled a 1 and a 4, which means it's just a 4. It's just a 4.
Yeah.
He is going to do Responsible Soldier, because he's going to try to suss out if it's anything, Fire Nation related. He knows quite a bit about the way the messenger systems work. He's going to do Devotion because you asked him to, and he values that. You are asking for his input. Catalyst is an 8.
So don't look into it too much, Ren.
He's following orders, which is an 8.
Mm-hmm.
And he is relationship with Mayu, because Mayu specifically asked for this. He is rolling with 5d8.
Ooh.
2, 2, 6, 2, 2, 5. So what he will do is obviously take the 11.
Effect die.
An effect die, so it bumped it up to 10. So he succeeds, because he obviously I beat my own 4.
Clearly.
And literally. And I got a heroic success to bump it up to a D10, which means he did really good. And he says, okay, all right, it's definitely not a bird.
Thanks, Ren.
If anything, I think it could be a few different things. It could be a sky bison, could be, mohawk. Those are usually round like that. Point is, it's going to the northeast, which, do we know exactly where we're going?
Do I know that?
Well, it'd be more, does she know that?
We're going.
I would say
we're kind of going to.
Way, did
considering
Way
We're
tell
kind of
us?
going to the northeast. Way and she would probably know where we're going.
Yep, northeast is about right.
Kind of where we're going.
Okay.
Yep.
So it hasn't seen us, I don't think. So I guess that's
Ren
kind
says,
of a
I
good
don't.
sign.
Yeah, Ren's pretty positive that you guys have not been seen. As you guys move around a bend, and he's watching, and the shape, it doesn't stay off its course. And he knocked another 6 off. So, obviously, it goes to Tinwa next. You have a single D6 to work with, to go up against. So, how would Tinwa like to assist during all of this stuff? During the journey?
I can set up camp or whatnot. Okay.
Yeah, as an
being a
ambitious wanderer, you definitely know how to set up camps. Yep.
Yeah, and I guess staying watch while we sleep and
Wow,
stuff.
Jack.
Oh, so I don't even have to
No,
roll.
you do.
So don't even worry about
But
Legendary Bottlers, I have rolled a singular 1.
it. Woo.
Yeah.
When you roll a 1, you cannot use that die for anything, which means I technically didn't roll anything. The effect automatically goes to a D4, but the point is that, just give me the highest die you would contribute to this, and that would be the effect die that you would have used to describe how well you did.
Tinwa can also sell down to gain a P.
You would bump that 8 down to a 4 for just this roll.
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
still have you roll, just in case, because you never know.
Okay.
You might get a 1, and then
So
I can maybe buy a hinder.
Mastery, and then I pick an attribute, right? So
Correct.
And I would go with focus.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Focus can work. It depends on the narrative you want to spin. For example, you can say harmony if Tinwa is paying a special attention to the care of her teammates. Harmony can perfectly work there. Creativity can work. It depends on how you want to spin it.
Oh, okay. Probably creativity because I have to use
And you're
random
adapting to the
stuff.
surroundings,
I
yeah.
have to MacGyver. Yeah.
Okay, well that's a D4.
So I would roll 4.
So you're rolling with a 6,
4.
a 4. And do you feel confident in what you're doing?
I do.
And at that point, you can use a specialty for confidence for a D8.
Okay. So that's a 4, a 6, and 8, and that's only 3.
Correct,
Right.
because you already rolled your first D4.
Right. Got it.
Okay.
Oh, it's not a good day.
I will buy one of those hinders from you. So you get to mark a plot point I think what you're doing is taking a lot out of you, especially since you used some lower qualities of yourself. I think a D6 exhaustion makes sense.
Man,
You're
see,
exhausted
that's what I
after
wanted
the.
to wait for. I could have helped you with that.
So I mark it exhausted now too.
Correct. Yep, you mark
Under
a.
D6.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah, as long as you have that, if you are doing a test or a challenge or a contest where that comes into play, I get to roll with it. I get that D6 added to my pool for the challenge.
Yeah.
Okay. But you did still succeed. The challenge is technically over. Now, what's funny is, I'll explain real quick. If after Team 1 was done, if the challenge was not over, it would have been the challenge's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Where I would have had to have targeted someone specific and then create the narrative. You set my difficulty.
Okay.
Interesting.
And so it reverses the rolls for one roll, and then it starts over again. The fact that you guys knocked it out 5 dice in one round is pretty good. Okay.
We did it.
So I start.
So
I
you
start
did
off with a plot point, and I gained another one because you took my.
Oh, actually, you got a plot point from the hinder, and then you got a plot point from me activating your hitch, which is the 1.
Oh, okay.
So you got 2 plot points now to spend however you wish. Now you have all completed the goal of getting out of the jungle. Despite your 2-day journey, you guys actually start to get to the point where you can see through the trees. You can see the sun reflecting in between them. We'll say not too far from sundown. So nice sky peeking through. And you come to the point where the water is taking you out of the jungle itself.
At this point, I was watching as part of my help. Did I also see the thing in the sky?
You did not. I mostly gave that because I generate that because of the complication.
Okay.
So that's why that was generated. That was the hiccup. In which case, now you guys are a bit on edge.
Well,
or
2 of us are. If they didn't notice it, so.
Well, I mean, I was hoping you guys would have said something to each other. You're all on a singular boat.
I
Yeah.
didn't say anything.
Oh.
I specifically said I didn't, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, she did. She didn't want us to worry.
Red would have been confused by that.
Well, you should have
but
thought of that
following
before
orders.
my name.
Following orders. So no, I apologize. You did not see that. You were helping steer ground level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When you guys are coming out of the canopy, you start to see a dense mountain range stretches far into the landscape, mostly to the south side. And then it wraps around and you guys see great valleys nestled in between to the north and northeast. Looks like a lot of rocky areas. As for that thing in the sky, no trace of it.
Perfect.
And Ren is specifically looking up for it. He does not see it.
Yeah,
When
I look
we're
around. I don't see anything.
the kind of rocky areas, does this look like the kind of place where there will be caves, or will there be no cover? Like, should we make camp before we leave the jungle? I guess is what Wei is trying to.
Okay. At this point, I would like a test for Wei.
Okay.
What this test is of your knowledge of this area specifically. Okay. Because this is Earth Nation, it wouldn't be unknown for you to know about it, but it's just the idea of whether or not you know these specific things.
Okay.
And because of that, it's a simple, you succeed, you know. If you do not, maybe it might be partial information. Maybe I might give you misleading information. You're not sure. So I will set this difficulty at 6. It's easy. It's not hard. But I will include an 8 into it just because it is a dense mountain range and getting your bearings is sometimes a little hard. So this challenge will be, God, I got another 1. I got on the 2 6s, I got a 3 and a 2. So my total is 5. The D8 was a 1. So I cannot use that. So the effect is only a D4. So the point is that you now have to beat that.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and switch my kindred distinction, because that's my Earth Nation one, to a D4.
Ooh, get that plot point.
Yes. But could I also use my strategist specialty?
You're definitely trying to make the best of your situation.
And then could I also use creativity?
I think so
And
as
a
well.
value.
Okay.
And do you feel a value plays into this?
I don't really.
Well, you could have mastery or devotion to your friends or honor.
Okay. We can do mastery. Okay, I'm gonna roll.
This does
them.
pertain to your knowledge, which is a big deal to you. Okay, give me that roll. You got 2 1s. The 4 and the 6 are a 1. The 8 and the 6 is a 3 and a 6. Or I'm sorry, the 8 and the 12 is a 3 and a 6.
Okay, so I get a
interesting.
plot point.
You got the plot point from
2.
bumping down initially. I would like to buy that hinder from you, please.
Sure.
So you get another plot point.
Okay.
Okay, let's
This
see.
isn't really buying so much as like forced bartering. Like a crow that steals something from our pocket and leaves a bone. Like, thanks, I guess.
You know,
I'm using
buying textbooks at the school bookstore.
I am using official Cortex terminology. I'm using official terminology, so don't blame me.
I mean, I honestly do kind of like
Okay.
this back and forth.
Okay, I like
Doing it,
crows.
What I'm thinking, complication-wise, is, yeah, you do know that this area, because you got a success, you actually got, because I got a 5, you got a 9, but your effect die is only a D4 because you had no third die to contribute because you got once.
Yeah.
So which means you succeeded, but barely. So what I'm thinking is the complication is that, again, you know the area has, what do they call them? Badger moles? I think they were.
Mhm.
They are in the areas around these mountain ranges, but you do not know specifically on a map where you are along the border between the jungle and the mountain range. So you are slightly a little lost.
Slightly a little bit. You're either lost or not. Like, you either know where you're going or you don't.
I mean, I think
It's
we
kind of
know
over-
where
it's kind
we're
of over,
going.
I
We
think.
just don't know exactly where we are. I
Yeah.
think that's more
Yeah.
like
Oh,
it.
okay.
Like,
Okay.
Correct.
we know generally the direction we're going.
Hey kiddos, it's Jason, your friendly neighborhood sitter, and I want to talk to you today about Anchor by Spotify. Anchor is an all-in-one podcasting app that lets you edit and record your podcast right from your phone or computer, and then host it on your favorite podcast catching website. And the best part of all, it is absolutely free. Anchor is what we use to host Even Footing Games Presents Babies and Broadswords, and even though I've had to record this ad 15 times, what you're going to hear is the best version we have, thanks to Anchor. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. It is so easy, a baby could do it.
This is Dungeon Master Rick here with Hammer of the Gods. Do you enjoy Dungeons & Dragons? And epic fantasy combined with alternate history, and a splash of Greek and other ancient mythologies thrown in for flavor.
Why do the other Olympians avoid Dionysus?
I don't know why.
Because all he does is whine.
Ooh, I'm praying to Daddy Aries now.
Then you'll love Hammer of the Gods. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts, and if you really enjoy our show, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/hampod. That's HAMMPOD.
Right.
So I think I would say, hey guys, do you think that we should like really make camp right here on the edge of the jungle? Since we're going into the mountains, we're not quite sure of the terrain. And so I would think it would be a little bit better to have a little more cover for as long as we can and then kind of start out fresh tomorrow.
Sure. Yeah, Teen One's been doing a good job making camp in the jungle, so might as well keep at it, I guess.
I can, some reason, just imagine Wei being like, but.
Yeah.
T1 got praise.
That's because Jack can see my secret goals. And
Yes,
so,
I can.
Secret goals.
Literally.
Are they secret? They are, right? Or no?
Well, I mean, you can all look at technically each other's character sheets. But,
Yeah.
Yeah, but honor.
Okay.
So, yeah. So I just like, I'm just, it just seems like the best thing to do, I guess. I'm not feeling super confident because I didn't roll very high. And so I kind of go back to my normal kind of insecure 14-year-old self.
Aw. So cute.
Okay. So let's set up camp.
Wait. Oh, yeah. That's actually a great idea. I would not have thought of it on my own. Like, you are so smart.
Thanks, Tinwa. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you too.
So, would I have noticed earlier if Tinwa was feeling tired after like setting up camp and everything?
Oh, you noticed me. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm asking if I would have. Like, do I need to roll for
You
that?
very well could have.
Okay.
No, if you don't have to roll to witness exhaustion.
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to use my thing then to help out. When you're like starting to set up camp, I'll help you set everything up and kind of tell you like you should just go sit down. I've seen you set this up like 8 times and I can handle it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do take the hit, which is spending a point.
Oh, you're doing take the hit. Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. For me?
For you.
Thank you.
If you can go ahead and read take the hit, that is a special effect from your Fire Nation Noble Distinction.
So I spend a plot point to convert another character's stress into exhausted. It already is exhausted, but I can instead take that exhausted point on myself.
Oh.
Okay. And you also step it up for yourself then. So it won't be
If
a
I already
D6,
have it,
it'd be a
right?
D8. If you already have it. So
have
yes,
it,
never mind.
but I
It's a
don't.
D6 then. It's a D6.
So yes, I have that now.
Okay.
And you're good.
So
So I
Team-
check exhausted, is that it?
Yep.
correct. But here's the
Oh,
fun thing.
wow.
A teammate helped you get rid of stress. That means you take that value of that stress and add it to your growth.
I basically just
So
take
you
the
go-
tent from you and tell you to sit down. I'm like, it's fine.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep. Typically, one would have to roll for this. But because Mayu has a special effect, Mayu didn't have to roll.
Wow. I feel like you should be careful that you're falling in love with me.
Do you say this?
I will not.
Okay.
But I say, yeah.
But I think
also,
it's really
Mayu-
hard.
Yeah, I think it really hard.
All right. So now you guys have your camp all set. Do you include a fire as well or no?
We keep warm by body heat. I'm kidding. We build a fire, I guess.
Okay.
Maybe a
I
small
think
one. So
yeah, should we?
We have
we need to eat, right? What are we eating?
and we have
cooked
the
leaves?
the canopy still above us a little bit. I think we
Yeah,
should
we'll build a
definitely
fire.
have a fire still.
It won't be that out of place on the edge of the swamp.
Okay.
All
Do
right.
people go camping?
Well, yeah, but
Is that a thing?
Yeah,
like,
when they
people go
travel.
camping, but they're if they see, a campsite and they're looking for someone, they might stop at that campsite.
Oh yeah. Right.
And we're in the area.
That's possible,
that
but
people are
again, you're-
searching.
So smart.
So, unrelated, as they set up camp, could Wei kind of go around the camp and try to kind of devise basically a tripwire or something that would alert us to anything, like maybe take some vines and kind of put them across the ground so that if something would make a big clatter if somebody came close to us?
Sure, of course. I would normally have this be a roll, but I think given your situation and what you've been through, I think this probably isn't too big. What I would like you to do, though, is pick a die. Like, just think of what, real quick in your head, what you would have used for that pool, but tell me the highest die you would have used.
I would have
And
used
that will be-
creativity, which would have been a 12.
Wow, so that is a D freaking 12.
Yeah.
Okay, wow. All right. So that means that, yeah, there's a D12 trap all around. So what does it look like? Is it just like tripwires or something like that?
I think I took like vines and stuff and would basically kind of run them along the ground as low as possible, but maybe like kind of attach something that'll make noise if somebody comes within our camp area.
And
Sure. That sounds more than adequate.
Because they're all talking about being worried about being on the edge of the swamp and something seeing us from overhead. She wants to go and try to put together some kind of covering for the fire, so they would actually have some like shelter. Okay. And then they'll put the fire in the back of that, so it kind of shields anything from above. So he'd be taking branches and maybe a couple limbs to make a lean-to, so that you really won't see the fire from outside the swamp.
I definitely think this is so 100% within his wheelhouse. So just give me the die that you think would have been your effect die.
He probably would have been doing probably a D8, because he'd be using his dual heritage.
Just for you listeners at home, part of the reason why the effect die comes into play, this is between you and me. The others can't hear it. I mean, they actually can, but who cares? The effect die will come into play if I roll to see if anyone spots them or sneak up on them. That person will now have to contend with a D12 trap and also spotting them with D8. They have to have an effect higher than that. On, huh?
That's how we stay hidden in plain sight, yo.
So just to... Anyway, guys, don't mind that. I was just talking to the legendary podlers. Nothing you guys need to worry about.
I come back, like, wet the sweat from my brow and say, guys, I set up a tripwire all along our camp so that if anybody comes, they're going to make noise. How great is that? And I'm real proud of myself.
Oh, that looks real good.
And I'm very enthusiastic. I kind of direct it toward Tinwa because I know she'll hype me up. But I'm definitely trying to get praise from Mayu.
Wow, thank you for doing that. I think that will be really helpful in helping us get more well-rested sleep tonight. Is great.
Yeah, I'm so glad I could help.
That'd be really good.
And
it's great work.
Wei is feeling very proud of herself and is, doing a little 14-year-old dance like, yeah, I did it.
Ren's like, cool, good job. Flame me out.
Oh, gosh. It is that era, isn't it?
It is that era. It is that era.
You can say flameo unironically.
I can't say flameo. Yep. Call each other hot men and it not be offensive.
Yeah. It's a great job.
And Wei just says, thanks, and blushes.
Ren is right now tending to said Shirshu. Koji.
Okay.
So, you guys have camp. You guys have some free time. What do you want to do with it?
I want to see if Koji knows any tricks and get Ren to teach me one.
So you make your way over to Ren and also Koji. He's feeding Koji various types of like fruit and whatnot.
Oh. Hey, so is this his favorite food? It's so awkward. I have no idea what to say.
No, I mean his favorite type of Koji's favorite type of food is mysagons. Basically iguana mice. Iguana mice.
Ah.
I was trying to combine the words and I remembered I don't have to.
That's interesting. Is that what is native to his homeland?
Yeah. That's around the Crescent Isle. They're all over the place.
So how long have you been the Koji Wrangler?
Well, Koji and I go back probably about 2 years now.
And that's how long you've been with the Fire Nation?
You mean conscripted in the army?
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I've been in the army since I was about 14. So we're looking at 4 years.
Oh, wow. So, when you guys were both in like the army and stuff, did he stay with you or did he have like his own like sleeping area?
Oh, well, they always stationed my barracks next to the stables, but they did encourage bonding. So that way it's sort of like, yeah, there are occasional times where I slept in the stables. Make sure that it. Yeah.
Oh, I was just wondering, does Koji know any tricks that are awesome, like that might be able to be used in combat?
You see Koji smile at the mention of tricks, but then when you say combat, he blinks. He's like, "Oh, I'd say he had some tricks outside of combat, but yeah, there's definitely some combat-related tricks. I mean, for example, he says, "Yep," and then he throws a piece of fruit up, and Koji's tongue just reaches up like 15 feet in the air to grab the fruit, and rather than like yoinks it down, just literally just slaps it, and you can tell it's with a lot of force, like a whip.
Oh, I want to try that. That looks cool.
Yeah.
I don't think your tongue is long enough, She.
Oh, and he'll blush. Really blush, because that's not at all what he meant, but he sees where it went wrong.
I mean, you never know. I mean, we can give it a shot. I can toss the fruit at you, see what happens.
I don't think I can use my tongue to do that. I'll toss some fruit in the air.
Do it with another
I'll toss
part of your
some fruit in the air for Koji. That'd be good enough.
But you have to say "yip" before he slaps it, yeah?
Yeah, that's the phrase where he knows rather than to grab it, to hit it.
Can anybody say "yip" and do that?
Only if Koji trusts you.
Oh, does Koji trust me?
Only one way to find out.
Okay, so I take a piece of fruit and I say "yip" and I throw it in the air.
Okay, we're doing this as a roll.
Aw, beans.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So
go ahead and pick your distinction. I think your quirk works pretty well here, but that's just me.
I agree. Yes.
Your quirk being Destiny, a book I write myself.
Yeah.
But my total is an 8.
Your total is an 8. So
Yep. So you do a distinction. Now, is there a value you wish to use for this?
I don't like how I set my values.
I mean, mastery doesn't sound too bad on this, considering you are trying to learn how to make this, this creature something for you to be able to use.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that as well.
Okay, so you got a 6 in there.
Okay.
And I would definitely say your harmony.
Okay, so it's 10, a 6, and...
Shoe asset, D6.
Okay,
and actually, I'll even give you a D6 with Ren, because Ren's helping you with this.
Oh yeah, we're bonding.
Yep.
Like, awkwardly. I don't know, I'm like, does he trust me? Because I, like, distrust him a little, but not as much as before.
Well, we can find that out other ways.
Okay, so there's an... already...
You can do this, Lisa.
So I'm already...
Wow,
Oh, wow.
okay.
I mean,
Ooh.
I beat you. I don't have to add them, right?
Well, no, you got select 2 for your
I have to
total,
select-
and then you get to select 1 for your effect, meaning how well you did. What obviously seems like Shuin was a 7 and 5, which you got from your D6 and your D8, and use your D10 as your effect, which means you succeeded, and you succeeded really well.
Oh, nice. And also, I surpassed it. Oh, I didn't get a 13. I only got a
You were
10.
1 off. Granted, you could spend a plot point and get that.
What would that do for me?
You could spend a plot point and add, let's say, your 2 to it. You would definitely get more than 5 for heroic success, where that D10 will turn into a D12, which means you did the best that you could possibly do doing this task.
Giving a treat to the dog.
Yeah, and I don't
Well,
do
no,
that.
this is gaining trust.
Oh,
That's fair.
gaining
That's
trust is
fair.
definitely...
You're right,
okay,
you're right.
I do want that, yeah.
Don't
I'll
listen
So-
spend my
to
plot point.
Uh-huh. And then so you spend your plot points. You are adding either your 2 or your 4. So now your total could be 14. That is definitely 5 over my 8. So your D10 effect now gets bumped up to a 12. You did the best you can do. And the fruit gets, like the moment you say, yep, tongue's immediately out, just smacks that fruit down, no problem. At record time. And Ren's like, okay, that took me months to be able to get. Wow.
And
Okay,
she's over there just like
Huh.
throwing fruit in the air going, yep, I ain't getting this. There's like fruit hitting the Shir in the side of the head, and I'm like, here, you try it.
Also, you completed one of your goals. So add your D6, a D6 to your growth. So you get to write in, cozy trick or something, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Oh, yay. And then I'm excited, obviously. Yep. And then, I do want to have like a tiny heart-to-heart with Ren saying like, okay, thank you for teaching me that. Like, I know that we didn't start off on the right foot. Mostly your fault, but, we're past that now. And I am starting to think having you with us is not a bad idea.
Well, I mean, that's good. Like I said, I understood the concept of trying to earn my place. It's kind of the Fire Nation way. And I'm glad I'm doing that. That's good to hear.
Awesome. Also, do you, me, and she want to go
Actually, that's
food?
what, after she tossed a couple pieces of fruit and was like, yeah, this is going nowhere. She's going to just go over and like get in the water and start fishing and gathering stuff by sensing the water.
Oh, okay.
I guess so. No, that sounds good. Food's good.
Oh, okay. So you want to go with she or you want to go with me? Like it.
His eyes dart back and forth. His eyes dart back and forth as he is like, wait, how am I reading this? How am I reading this situation?
Or, none of the above is also an option.
I guess I'll go with you.
She's perfectly capable of doing this all by himself, so he's not worried.
It's not whether or not you're capable, okay?
There are other things at work here, she.
Yeah.
And she is oblivious.
You don't... Yay, let's go... What is it? Look for food. Is that what I said? Yes.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Let's do it.
Who cares?
Oh no, now you're alone at camp with just Wei and Mayu.
Oh.
Dun dun dun.
Wei's gonna start like finding wood and says, "Hey, Mayu, do you wanna start this fire for me so that we can cook whatever food that they find for us?"
Yeah, I can do that.
So cool.
Like, no rolling needed, of course. Just
he's a little bummed out. Like, he's already clearly made it, like, he doesn't like to use fire very much, and everyone's just constantly asking him to. But I don't know if Wei picks up on that. He just looks a little bummed out.
Oh.
He'll put his hands under the main, like, logs of the fire and touch the coals until they get hot. He doesn't actually produce any flame. He just kind of warms everything up until it catches on fire.
Oh, that is just really useful, and I really appreciate it. Wei sees that Mayu's kind of bummed out and is, like, gathering more wood, and do we see any stars yet? Has it gotten sort of dark?
I'd say it's gotten a little darker, yeah. Maybe you can spot a few.
Okay. You look, like, a little upset. Do you want me to, I don't know, tell you a campfire story?
Yeah.
So, once upon a time, there was an immortal fairy that came to Earth as a weaver girl who found a cowherd boy, and they would have rendezvous and fell in love, but because they were different kinds of beings and they couldn't be together for always, they were torn by celestial and earthly differences, and they became stars. And she points up to the two brightest stars and says, and that's a little constellation right there.
Oh, wow. You think it's true?
Probably not, but it's a pretty cool story to tell people. And, I like to read, so.
Mm-hmm. Is that something you learned at the library?
Yeah. Just mythology and stuff. I don't think it has any, bearing on anything real, but it's kind of a fun little story.
It's a good story. Do you have any books with you?
No, I don't. Just have all these Fire Nation battle plan things, War Machine stuff. So I could read that if you want. But otherwise, gonna probably just have to stick to telling children's stories if people want stories.
Well, there's a lot of people that never write stories down, you know? They just go from mouth to mouth and word to word. It's just as important.
Absolutely. And Wei totally blushes when he says that.
Off to the side, Ren is looking to Teenwa like, hey, wait, why are you sitting at the edge of camp? I mean, you're kind of ducked down. Wait, why are you watching that now? That's if Teenwa's actually doing that.
Oh, am I? I thought I.
That's up to you. That's okay. If it's totally what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? I'm not okay. Before I tell you what I'm doing, what do you think about Wei and
Mayu?
Do you mean as in my personal thoughts, or more just their value and an asset as a team?
What a nerd.
Never mind.
I mean, I think Wei is extremely intelligent and really good asset, and Mayu's got an amazing sense of just understanding the area he's in. Also, is it just me, or I kind of get the feeling that Wei really likes Mayu?
Oh my god. Okay. But do you get the sense that Mayu is reciprocating these feelings?
Well, I mean, in the Fire Nation, you know, the difference with feelings and duty are kind of different. You know, Mayu's from a royal house, so they kind of do things a bit different. So I'm not a great judge.
Okay. Well,
that was non-committal and unconvincing.
Yeah. So
What do you expect from Ren?
What?
Yeah,
Classism, man. Classism.
Yeah, I was just like looking for berries under this bush, but I actually didn't find any, so we can just keep looking elsewhere.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah. But like, what do you think of Wei? Like, would you be attracted to Wei? Like, I'm just asking in general.
Wei's my little sister's age, so I'd rather not answer that.
So you will only date people who are older than your little sister.
Well, I mean, he definitely is like seems to be thinking deeply. He's like, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, Wei kind of reminds me of my little sister a little bit. She's really smart and creative, but I don't know. I guess I can best answer that with yes.
You will only date people older than your little sister. Okay.
Yes.
That is information that I have now for whatever reason.
This will be useful later.
I was not gonna say useful because it might not be. But that is just information.
Good to know. If you can excuse me for a moment, I think I'm going to go help she real quick. I think I hear she.
He's
but
quite
no.
capable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can go. Fine. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
it's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. He runs off and he just immediately jumps in the
Ren
water.
just looks incredibly
Oh
uncomfortable.
my god. Wow.
And he's like, she. Okay, this is going to be really weird. I normally don't come
I
across.
almost got to fishes.
Okay.
Be still. I gotta get underneath the bank here.
Teenwa has a. I think Teenwa has a thing for me. She kept asking me my preferences and asking me what I thought about like romance and stuff like that. Is that?
Oh, Dad. You see,
Is this? Okay,
you just gotta smile and
okay,
nod.
I'm normally not good at this sort of thing.
Yeah,
Okay, smile and nod. Okay.
She's just preoccupied with some of that things, and sometimes there's more important things than romance. Like, be quiet.
Oh yeah,
I gotta
obviously,
get this fish.
Duty, honor.
And he just kind of dives in to go after something.
Okay,
This
yeah.
fish is more important.
Food is more important than the romance right now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, as she kind of like works harder to.
I can.
I'm going to keep myself busy so that I don't have to pay attention to these things.
And yes, so Ren completely misunderstood that situation.
Yeah, she's just kind of like,
that's great.
Just smile and nod. And there's always more important things to do, like eating.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we got to get some food, or we're not all going to be
get the fish
empty
out,
bellies,
out.
and snuggling's not so good when you're all on empty bellies.
Snuggling?
Yeah, that's what they want to do. I don't know.
By the spirits. Okay, I'm just going to... Oh, I'll handle the fish. You get them out, I'll handle them. Okay, I'll be quiet.
Shh. Watch and learn.
Okay. So, back at the camp.
Hello. So, taking a while with the food, huh? Do you want some tea?
I'd love some tea.
I'll make tea. And not talk very much after that.
All right, then.
Yeah, Whale be quiet, but we'll be just smiling and like occupy herself with, I don't know, something she's building a trap she thinks she is, or making it look like she is when she's actually thinking about Mayu.
Teen Y, you have completed your goal, your D6 goal of get Mayu and Wei some alone time.
Yeah, but they wasted it.
That's not part. That doesn't matter.
I know, that's fine. That's not, yeah.
To your goal, that does not matter.
I don't know what you mean by wasted it. I told a lovely story.
Yeah.
So
I think Mayu also agrees.
It's all very romantic.
Story.
Yeah, I work with Ren to provide food for everyone, because I'm going to be putting our efforts into that as opposed to whatever all is going on over there at the campfire.
Gotcha. Well, at that point, I would say providing food is definitely a D6 goal because it's a momentary goal.
That's fine.
So definitely write that in. And let's see, did we miss any other goals? I would say in regards to your showing how capable you are, Wei, you definitely did that earlier with your trap. So at that point, Team Y, you said you wanted to get caught in the trap?
Yeah, because I want them to work together, Mayu and...
So you purposely get caught in the trap?
I didn't, but it worked out, actually. Like, what a good trap. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe... Like, it was so good that I didn't even see, like, the thing. So now I'm, like, stuck.
There's tons of noise.
And ruin the trap.
There's tons of noise, and you just come over, and there's Team Y and all the...
Wrapped in the wire.
The wires and everything, just standing there like, wow, this is such a good trap.
Yeah, I'm just admiring your trap. Like, help me, though. I'm kind of stuck.
Ruined it. Now she has to set it all up again.
Wait,
I will help her.
Wait, just goes over.
Then I will know how.
It's no big deal. I'll go and put it back together. No problem. And I'll get you out of it, Teen Wa.
Yeah, no problem. She can do this in her sleep, Mayu.
Ren says, I can help. I'll help deal with it.
No, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna just talk to...
Are you just cooking food?
Yeah, go cook food, Ren.
Yeah, go cook food, please.
Okay.
Hey, yeah. Teen Wa. I told Mayu a very romantic campfire story.
Am I just pretending I'm not here? Like, where am I?
No, I went over and I was making sure that Teen Wa and I were alone. I assumed
they went off to
as
the
I
side.
was fixing my trap.
Got it.
Yeah. Wait, am I still stuck or no?
No, I got you out. I'm getting you out.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah. Oh. And then I redo the trap and I say, see, I didn't do anything weird. I just told a nice story.
Oh, what story was it?
A story about a weaver that was actually a fairy and a cowherd.
I know that story. Yeah. What was Mayu's reaction?
Just that he wondered if it was real, and I said it probably wasn't. Which is,
And what else happened?
Oh, they were very different, and so they couldn't be together. So the only way
God, not with a story, with you guys.
It was so good.
Wait is like, well, I mean, we just had some time together. That's all. But I thought you wanted. Okay, never mind.
No, I want. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. What do I... Okay. I have read in a book about how to flirt before, so I'm going to teach you everything that I know.
Oh.
You have to look into their eyes.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Wait, starts making mental notes. Eyes.
Yeah, but like,
compliment.
but practice first on Ren
Okay.
because because you're gonna nobody's good at flirting the first time, right? So you have to pick, like, it's like a job interview, right? You go on as many as you can, and then it's a numbers game. So do it to she as well, okay? But like Mayu last because you'll be an expert by
Wow.
then.
This is amazing advice.
Perfect. I'll start with Red. Low stakes.
Yeah, low
Oh!
stakes. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And Ren might not respond well just because he doesn't date girls younger, like his sister's age or younger. So, but you can still practice just to not feel the jitters when you do it for real.
That's a great point. If he
Yes.
doesn't date girls, I could practice with you too, Tinwa. And
Yes, do it right now.
yeah,
See how
so
it
I
goes.
look at your eyes and I say, you have such cute buns in your hair.
Okay, so how about we think of the compliments ahead of time, right?
I guess I should work on that a little bit.
I'm seriously
yeah.
tempted to turn this into a contest role. You have no clue how
do
badly.
it. Do it.
Oh, like, and then we just fail at it so badly. Oh my god.
Where it'd be you two going back and forth. who can compliment or flirt the best?
Well, we're both really
I-
bad at it.
I can
so
just
feel
see
like
she and Mayu
we
standing
would
over the
both
side going,
lose.
I don't know what that is.
Well, the boys over here are making
I don't
fish.
I don't know what that is. Mayu, do girls do that where you're
It's
from?
like, Red comes over with a plate of fish and eating it. He's like, I'm so confused.
And so Tinwa takes the plate of fish from him and touches his arm gently and is like, thank you so much. This looks delicious. And then as Ren walks away, she looks
Cheeks
at
are red.
like, yeah, she looks at Wei and she's like, that was an example.
Wait, but does it matter that we yelled at him to go cook the fish earlier?
No, he likes being told what to do because he was in the army.
He's standing right there.
Oh, I thought you walked away.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No, this is even more awkward and hilarious.
But
Let's all go eat together
Okay.
around the fire.
We're all eating
Is that a
Okay.
good idea?
At this
Yeah.
point, we've all sat
Sure.
down to eat dinner.
I mean, that's normal bonding with your unit.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, and then
No,
Tinwa.
Wei eats super quickly and then says, okay, somebody wake me up when it's my turn for watch. And like goes and lays down. Because she's embarrassed.
Oh my god.
It's been a lot.
Okay. This is a lot.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, so that trap that Wei built was so good. Like, I got trapped in it. Like, oh my gosh. We will all sleep very well tonight because of her. So we should all thank her in the morning for letting us have such a great sleep.
Yeah, Wei does a good job.
Okay.
I think Wei can still hear you because she's not asleep and, well, it's fine. You don't have to thank me.
You did it.
No
You did a
problem.
good
Go to
job.
sleep. Go to sleep.
I'm gonna go lay down because we got
Tomorrow.
a long difficulty in front of us of getting out of the swamp here. We need to get our good night's sleep.
I'll take first watch.
All right, I'll take last if y'all
Okay.
don't mind.
I'll do the middle. That's usually the hardest, and least I can do.
I'll do it with you.
Oh, okay.
Because aside, because
Oh, wait, he
Tinwa's
nods,
not
he nods.
100% sure that, Ren is, like, not still working with the Fire Nation.
Oh, I get that.
Yeah.
He's just
But
stays
he's
quiet
very
and nods.
confused at this point.
I would like for you to set a difficulty roll for me relating to your shelter.
The dice pool for hiding everything. Okay,
Yeah, this is just for the trap because you're setting a difficulty for me.
all right. So, being rural and dual heritage, he kind of knows the ways of the outdoors, and then he is trying to make something that's not noticeable and blends in. So he's going to try to roll with harmony as his attribute. But because this is something for his friends and he's trying to do the best he can for his friends and he's trying to help them out, he'll use his devotion. And then he will use herbalism as a part of that.
That sounds good. All right, so give me that roll and set me a total. So you got a 2, a 7, and a 5. What are you setting as your total?
I'll just use a 7, 8 as my total then.
Okay. For reasons I will not divulge quite at this moment, I will roll a 10, an 8, and an 8.
Mysterious.
I got an 8 and a 3 and a 3. So my total was an 11. I did not beat your total.
Okay.
Which means you rest soundly.
Or so you think.
I literally did not beat the total, so. You dodged an encounter.
Barely.
As wandering through the mountains is a lone Air Nation monk. But he did not smell the delicious fish. He did not see the hint of fire around the canopy, but he is wandering. And with that, I think we'll close out the session. And this is Jack from Even Footing Games, where we're playing games you'll get a kick out of. Good night.
Night.